Okay. I am going to call to order the regular meeting of the zoning administrator for the city of San Clemente. My name is Cecilia Gallardo Daly, and I'm the zoning administrator. The first item of business is to receive and file the minutes from the November 3, 2022 zoning administrator meeting, so received and filed, and to receive and file the minutes from the November 17, 2022 zoning administrator meeting, so received and filed. The next item on the agenda is oral and written communication. This is the time on the agenda when members of the public may address the zoning administrator on an item within the jurisdiction of the zoning administrator that is not on the agenda. Doesn't look like there is anybody wishing to speak during oral and written communication, so we'll move on to our public hearings. The public hearing is a process that includes a staff presentation, a presentation by the applicant not to exceed 10 minutes, and public testimony not to exceed 3 minutes per speaker. Following closure of the public hearing, the zoning administrator will respond to questions raised to the hearing, during the hearing, discuss the issues, and act upon the matter by motion. So we have one public hearing item today, and that is for a minor cultural heritage permit for Sea Surf Fish Company. And we will have our staff planner, David Carrillo, give us a presentation on this item.
Yes, good afternoon. The project is located at 202 North El Camino Real in the downtown T-Zone within the Mixed-Use 3 zoning district and architectural and central business district overlay. Sea Surf Fish Company is a seafood restaurant that began operations at the site early this December. Earlier this summer, the Planning Commission approved a conditional use permit to allow outdoor consumption of beer and wine at the existing outdoor dining patio with more than 16 outdoor seats. So the applicant is proposing some improvements in the outdoor patio area to further accommodate customers' requests and the experience. The improvements consist of 6 elements. One, an attached awning structure with black aluminum posts and a blue fabric cover over the existing patio, string lights underneath the awning, new wooden patio furniture, potted plants, replanting of native drought-tolerant landscaping, and a low white stucco wall with a brick cap and decorative wrought iron rail. The design review subcommittee did review and supported the project with the main comment to add more Spanish colonial revival elements. And in attachment 4, there's some responses from the applicant on how they seem to believe they address those comments. So per staff's analysis, staff finds that the project meets the required findings for approval, given that the project enhances the pedestrian orientation of an existing outdoor dining patio with new Spanish colonial revival oriented elements, such as a blue awning, new wooden patio furniture, the potted plants, the new drought-tolerant landscaping within the existing permeable area, and the low white stucco wall with the brick cap and decorative wrought iron rail. These improvements, in addition to that, the improvements are consistent with other outdoor dining patios in the downtown T-Zone district with respect to the treatment of landscaping, the patio furniture, the awning structure, materials, and colors. So therefore, staff is recommending that the zoning administrator determine the project is categorically exempt from CEQA and adopt the resolution ZA 22-023 approving the project subject to conditions. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay.
And we don't have the applicant.
The applicant's not here. Okay. I just have a few follow-up questions for staff. Do we have the minutes of the design review subcommittee meeting of October 12th?
Ooh, should have been there. Yes, we have them in attachment 4.
Oh, okay. It's a
It's after the site plan.
after the site plan.
It's another.
Okay, you can use mine if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think these are not part of my packet.
Oh,
Yeah, there's some blank pages in here,
I
maybe.
know, I had some blank ones too.
Okay, so where is yours? Yours is right Let me just, okay. Those are right, oh, it's right before, okay.
Yeah, it was after this one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think those are my blank pages.
Well, I have those too.
Oh, you do? Okay.
And then hopefully,
Oh,
Yay!
you're right, yes, thank you. Okay, good. All right, now there you go. All right, I'm gonna just read through these. Okay, so in reading through the minutes of the meeting and their recommendations and the applicant's response to those recommendations, what changes at all were incorporated into the project to address the design review committee's comments? So for example, the comment regarding the brown wood trellis over the patio. The applicant has said that in their response, we have proposed a much more aesthetically Spanish colonial revival design element that would take the design from the actual missions with the low Spanish wall, along with the Spanish wrought iron feature with planters at the front of the corner of the intersection. But a trellis is different from a low wall with planters. So when they talk about the design element, are they referring to the awning? If I could get some clarity on that.
Yeah, the two different elements. They decided and they understood that the trellis was something more similar to the awning structure, also in height and how it's attached to the building. But they believe that a better use of their funding for the site and improvements would be to beautify the landscaped area with the low stucco wall, with the brick cap and the wrought iron detailing.
Okay.
The detailing came from inspiration from the Iva Lee's awning structure that's referenced
Okay.
in the minutes.
Mhm.
Those details were not incorporated on the awning structure. They were mainly incorporated on that wall. Part of that response is that the wall is more expensive than the trellis. So they thought that they were making the point that money was not the issue, but they thought it was a better use of funds.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, in order to address the design review subcommittee's concerns about adding more Spanish colonial revival elements to that frontage along El Camino Real and that corner, the applicant is looking at the low wall with the brick cap
Correct.
and
yeah.
landscaping and the wrought iron.
And the wrought iron.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Thank you. All right. So then that I think that answers the last comment where the design review subcommittee suggested that the applicant focus on adding more Spanish colonial revival elements on areas more visible from El Camino Real and Avenida Cabrillo. So the applicant's response is let's see here. The wall with the wrought iron features and the additional landscaping.
Correct.
Okay, got it. And then with respect to the second to the last comment from Design Review Subcommittee, where they recommended that the applicant, or suggested that the applicant add more details to the awning structure, similar but not identical to Iva Lee's awning structure. You mentioned that detail that they were referencing is actually the detail related to the wrought iron, and instead of adding the wrought iron to the awning, they're adding it to the wall.
Correct, to the
Okay,
wall.
got it. Okay, so it's being incorporated into the overall design
Correct.
of the, for the exterior. Okay, all right, that helps me to understand that a little better. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Okay. Do I have any other questions? Okay. Let's see. And the awning is blue, I see.
Yes. Correct.
Okay, and the design review subcommittee didn't have an issue with the color of the awning?
No, they supported it.
They supported that, okay. All right, great. Well, I don't have any other questions for staff, so thank you for that information. It was very helpful. All right, I will now open the public hearing. Seeing there's no one wishing to speak, I will close the public hearing. And I have reviewed in addition to the staff report and the drawings, the conditions of approval, and the recommendations by the design review subcommittee. I've evaluated what the design review subcommittee has to say because it is a visible, prominent location, and it. I think that any kind of rehabilitation or reuse of the property always benefits from taking another look at how the cultural aesthetics and architecture can be addressed at a business like this. So, but the applicant seems to have responded very well to the design review committee's comments, and the low stucco wall with the decorative wrought iron, and the awning with the lighting and the additional landscaping will frame the additional patio and exterior very nicely. So with that, I will determine that the project is categorically exempt from the requirements of CEQA pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15301, and I approve Resolution ZA 22-023 approving minor cultural heritage permit 22-196, the Sea Surf Fish Company exterior improvements subject to the conditions of approval. All right, thank you, David. All right, let's see, what else do we got? Okay, our next item is new business. Seeing none, we'll move to the next item, old business. Seeing none, I will adjourn this meeting to the next regular meeting of the zoning administrator to be held at 3 p.m. on Thursday, January 19, 2022 at the Community Development Department, first floor community room, located at 910 Calle Negocio, San Clemente, California.